Good afternoon. My name is Bill Moriarty, and I know this is rapid fire, so I'm going to be kind of rapid. And I'm here to talk about funding. One of my jobs as an engineer is I help people get money, and hopefully it's the kind of money they don't have to pay back. You know, I see some Mayor Pro Tem Gibson and Councilmember Barron and Commissioner Webb are some people we've worked with in the last year or so on some of these funding issues. And so let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is ARPA. For those of you that follow the legislature, they convened a special session a week ago last Monday. They have $15.8 billion to divvy up. The federal legislation allows them to use that for water and sewer funding. So there are some organizations which are suggesting that $3 billion of this dollar, $3 billion of this money be directed towards the towards water and wastewater infrastructure. And Vanessa Pugh-Williams reminded me to say that groundwater aquifers are infrastructure. Did I say that right? Close enough. But anyways, we need to watch this one in the legislature and see where this money goes. There could be, they could simply run it through the Water Development Board. They could do something else with it, but it's a lot of money and it will be welcomed. This rather busy slide that I made quickly is a scoring sheet from an organization that kind of reviews federal legislation, and this is the current federal infrastructure plan that's being discussed all over Washington. And the first part of this basically describes $23 billion that are going to be sent through the state revolving fund programs. And if you look to the right, you can see there'll be a mandated subsidy of 49 or 50%, which means they will be required by the federal government to give these out in 50% grants minimum. So for those of you who are familiar with SRF, this is a terrific opportunity for all of us to use that money. The next section is about exotic contaminants in water, and there's 100% funding for that. And it's probably the type of thing that a lot of small communities may not have to worry about, but it's certainly there and substantial. And then the bottom one is about lead water services. You all have them in your communities, and the federal government will pay the money to finding them and replacing them. So that is an important thing for lead water services. But one of the things that we've worked on in the last couple years is using the Clean Water State Revolving Fund to buy conservation land, otherwise known as source water protection land. City of San Marcos was the first one to close a transaction. Hays County, Comal County are actively after this. So the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, again, if it gets a burst of money, some of that money could be used for this land purchase. And remember, too, that under the category source water protection land, you can get grants through what's known as the Green Project Reserve, and I just mentioned the federal infrastructure. What about water conservation? Using SRF, it can pay for Purple Pipe. As a matter of fact, you'll get extra points for that kind of project. You can fix leaking water pipes using the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund. And of course, a very easy project to put together is what's known as smart meters, and that is a highly regarded water conservation strategy. Okay, and I'm getting close to the end, but this one has nothing to do with conservation or land acquisition, but I just threw it in because it's targeted for small rural communities. And the state of Texas, the Water Development Board, will give 100% grants to prepare what's known as an asset management program. And I'm not going to right now explain what that is, but if you go back to your cities and you ask, do we have an asset management program? And if they say, what's that? Then you need to get this. So statewide, and basically it's a system that will manage your water and wastewater utility much better, save money, less problems. So it's only for rural communities, less than 10,000 people, And they will give out 20 of these statewide at $100,000 each, so it's $2 million. And this game will begin in about a month, where there'll be a solicitation from the board. And so communities they're going to award these to communities that are most need them. So if you've done one 5 years ago and you just need an update, you'd probably be less regarded for this. But if you don't have one at all, and maybe you're in a little trouble with TCEQ, you'd probably be at the top of the list. So in the spirit of rapid fire, I'm going to rapid fire out of here. Here's my contact info, and thank you.